Good morning, brothers. I guess this is my first art show video. This is I don't know what I'd call this. Painting, mostly. It's got some transferred text and some non-standard materials. There's some construction staples holding a piece of metal screen for a window or a door on there. Put this together on a piece of sort of that fake pressed together wood that is used for countertops that I found laying around, which I beat up, painted, and then beat up again. And this was a high school project, and the assignment was to incorporate text. I think text as part of a texture. This was probably also a big turning point for me in terms of being both almost entirely abstract and sort of a mental turning point too, because I was a hypercritical kid, really judgmental. Still have a lot of that in my system, but this was, I think, one of those first moments where I decided to turn away from that and go more towards accentuating the positive. So I put this actually next to my closet here, so hopefully I get to see it when I'm picking out my clothes in the morning, and it can put me in the mindset of that great Chicago tradition of improv, which is the yes and response, which I'll probably link some people like Stephen Colbert talking about it, but the general idea is when you're doing improv, somebody will sort of make an assertion or say something that implies some underlying facts that had not been set up before the improv scene started, and your general response should be to accept that and then add on to the scene, rather than try to negate what somebody else has said. I think it was a Colbert graduation speech where he talked about that being a way to approach life rather than just a way to approach an improv scene. It's gotten me in trouble. I think one of the things I really like about this particular piece is the way that it's obviously, I mean, it's positive, right? It's white with some light blues and some faded but bright yellows in there, but it's also a little cagey. That's a new pun for me. Did not intend that, I don't think. But it's violent and it's messy and it's not necessarily planned in any real way, but yeah, it's sort of defiantly positive, I guess, in that way. In other news, it looks like we might be pregnant, and bought some walking shoes and hiking boots yesterday for the upcoming trip to Spain. I would like to hear you guys' thoughts on both of those. You jealous of the Spain thing? Do you know about the Spain thing? Let me know. Otherwise, have a good Wednesday. Wow, there's a lot of puns in here, aren't there? They're not intentional, but they're there. I'm gonna live with them.